I'm starting with importing my footage. The download link is in the description. And yeah, now check the frame rate, 23.976 is right. Create a new composition, make sure it's 16 bits per channel. I don't need the complete sequence, I'm adjusting it. You can adjust the timecode by hitting Ctrl and left mouse button. And I'll start at frame 283. And yeah, I'm just adjusting my work area and it goes to frame 386. So once you adjusted your work area, right click and trim comp to work area. Now we have to render it out. I'm using a DPX sequence for this because we don't lose any quality. So just go to export, add to media encoder queue, and media encoder will start. You can find a DPX preset under image sequence, and yeah, this is a 4K clip, so choose 4K and 24 frames with full range. And yeah, you can just drag and drop it to your clip and define an output path and start the render. Once the render is finished, you can just import your DPX sequence and make sure the frame rate is right, but this should be saved in the DPX file, so it's right. Also make sure you're still at 16 bits per channel. And now we can start. So check our sequence. I think it's fine if we are working with a quarter or a third, because it's a 4K clip, and yeah, because of the speed I'm working with a quarter of the resolution. We're going to remove this cast right there and restart. It's going to animation and track in mocha AE. Make sure your frame rate is set right. Here it's right, hit OK, and now mocha will catch the clip, and this will take some time. Now we can search for an area, or better for a frame. That's a good starting point for a track. It's always good to choose a frame where the image isn't distorted, and that looks really good right here. So we can just zoom in by hitting that, choose the X-Spline tool and draw a mask. Take attention to not draw the mask about the lamps on the right side, because they are on another plane and we don't want to make them flat because we are creating a flat image, and yeah, they are not flat. Just draw only around the area you really need, and the X-Spline with the right mouse button. Now we can check perspective and start tracking forwards. It might happen that your track gets confused because of the cars, so there's a little trick. You can just first name a layer, call it plate, and draw X-splines around every car, because in the hierarchy of mocha, every single X-spline about another X-spline will be ignored by the one below, so they won't disturb our track. So I just continue drawing rough shapes about the cars because I want mocha to ignore most of the pixels. So it doesn't need to be really exact, just rough masks. And when this is done, we can just uncheck everything out of translation, because they really don't need to be too exact. And yeah, now we can start tracking forward and our track won't be disturbed by the moving cars. When our track is done, we can just track backwards. Just make sure to start at the last keyframe. It's marked with this green flag. So the track is finished. We can just right click on our plate and align to surface. That's important here, because we're going to export our tracking data as a corner pin. And just copy to the clipboard and switch to After Effects. Ctrl D to duplicate your sequence and Ctrl V to import your corner pin. And this looks a little crazy right now, but it's alright. We will pre-compose our sequence and leave all the attributes in our new comp. Now enter this comp and go back to mocha, go to File, Export Shape Data and copy to clipboard, switch back to After Effects and edit, paste your mask. Now hit M to show the plate settings, and we don't want it to animate. Right click on your layer, go to the time settings and freeze the frame. Now we got the masked freezed frame, and in our DPX sequence it should look like a freezed frame. Let's change our resolution back to full, because we're going to export the frame with composition, save frame as file. Make sure you activate the post-render action for import, just make things easier, and hit render. Now you got your Photoshop file and you can put it into your comp. Ctrl E to open it in Photoshop, and let's start just painting out the cars. This is a little boring, I'm just cloning using the clone stem tool, and that's why I'll skip this part. Once you're finished, just save your Photoshop project, switch back to After Effects, and it should update automatically. So now we have a clean plate and it should move with our camera. This is just again for the tutorial, really roughly done, not perfect, but this tutorial is more about the workflow as about a perfect result in the tutorial itself. So that's it. That's how you can create the clean plate inside After Effects with mocha, instead of using a complete projection mapping or 3D track. Now we can refine everything and add a match grain effect to our plate, because it's a still image, and choose our DPX sequence as the source file. You can preview it with the preview box to see your grain, and that's a little bit too much, so I'll tweak it and lower the intensity. I think that looks good. And now make sure you change it from preview to final output. That's a little render intensive, so always do this in the end. Thanks for watching the tutorial, and the next one is coming soon. Goodbye.